Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. I see everyone's talking about capitalization in the comments already. That's good. So I just looked up iPhone. If you start a sentence with the word iPhone, do you write it with a big letter or a small letter? That's my question for you. Let me put up the game code. We have 4 people in the lounge of Kahoot. So if you're new, if there's someone new here, you can go to kahoot.com and put in the code in the comments or the link I have at the top of the comments. Hi, Roya. I hope you can join us on Kahoot today. Last time you had some technical problems, I remember. Hi, Romelia. It's nice to see people come back again and again. So my question is, if you start a sentence with the word iPhone, which begins with a small I normally, do you begin the sentence with a big I or a small I? We have a Donald 2, a Donald 3. So people usually do that when they get kicked out or lose the connection and have to come back. It's not too strange. I don't think it's 2 different Donalds. Rossi, hi. Buddy, someone named themselves after my doggy. Saji, right, small I. If it's a trademark name, if it's a brand name that's been trademarked, then you can't change the first letter, even if it's the first letter in the sentence, which normally has to be big. Romelia entered. We're waiting for Roya. She needs a little bit of time. It's not always so easy to join. There's Renata. No nickname after all, huh, Renata? So we were talking also in the chat about mom, whether it's big or small. Sajib knew the answer. So mom, you can write small unless you're using it like a name. So if you're referring to mom and you replace the word mom with her name, then it's a proper noun. You can capitalize it, otherwise it's small. Those ones are hard. You know, even for me, it's kind of like spelling. The more I look at something, the more confused I get. I guess native speakers do the capitalization mostly instinctively, but sometimes we also have to think about it. And sometimes words change. Like new words are often written big when they're new, and then with time they become a normal noun, a common noun. Like I remember email used to be written with a big E. Now it's not. Now it's just a normal word. Okay, is everybody in? I think Roya's Einstein this time. Renata's here. Romelia's ready. Rossi, Donald, and Buddy. I'm really curious who that is. Okay, I have to share my screen. Almost forgot. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to start in a second. Roya changed to the winter look. Okay, here we go. I have a couple slides at the beginning, I believe. Capitalization. So general rules. I think it might be a little bit small if you're watching this on your phone. The first word in a sentence is capitalized. The pronoun I is always capitalized. It's a very self-centered language. Only I is written big all the time. Names and proper nouns. So proper nouns, that was my nightmare at school. What's a proper noun? A noun that begins with a big letter. And when do we know if it starts with a big letter? It's a proper noun. So you just got to learn which nouns are proper nouns. But basically, it means a noun that has an official name. Titles of books, songs, and films are normally capitalized, the important words. Names of events and time periods. So names of wars, Renaissance, Middle Ages, those are capitalized. Months, holidays, days of the week, and official job titles. That's basically it, but we'll go over some other exceptions and whatnot. Acronyms and initialisms. WHO, FBI, COVID. COVID is an initialism. Coronavirus disease, that's short for that. EU and UNICEF, those are all written with capital letters. Okay, here we come to the first question. Choose the correct sentence. You may need good eyes for this one. Good. We flew to Berlin last Monday. Berlin is capitalized, it's a city, and Monday because it's a day of the week. So one person got Monday wrong. Days of the week are always written big. Renata is in the lead. Good job. Next question. If you use all caps like this, it sounds like you are shouting or whispering. Good. If you use all caps, especially in the chat, you sound like you are shouting. You sound like you are angry. Or if it's written on a sign or something, it sounds like you're announcing some kind of life or death emergency. You don't have to use all caps. Or you could use all caps for one word for emphasis. So to emphasize one word, it's okay. But when everything's in caps, can look aggressive. Another word for a capital letter is perfect. Uppercase. Uppercase is big and lowercase is small. Donald 3 is on fire. Okay, the word the is not normally capitalized before proper nouns, like the Netherlands, the UK, the Philippines. But the Bahamas and the Hague, those two names include the article the. So if you write them in a sentence, you also capitalize the. Only those two. Otherwise not. Which sentence is correct? We stayed at a Parisian hotel. Oh, sorry. Take away. I was too slow to take away the banner. Sorry, but everyone got it right anyway. We stayed at a Parisian hotel. So Parisian is the adjective for Paris, and it's big. Hotel is not big. Now Renata's on fire. Choose the correct sentence. On New Year's Eve, we had dinner at an Italian restaurant. Yeah, this one is tricky with the Eve. So the whole name of the holiday is New Year's Eve. So Eve is also supposed to be capitalized. You can't just say New Year's. It's just as good. And Italian is capitalized, but not restaurant. That wasn't an option anyway. Yeah. New Year's Day, is the day capitalized or not? New Year's Eve, Eve is capitalized. New Year's Day, day is also capitalized. It's like the name of the day, the official name of the day. Like Christmas Day is also capitalized. Christmas and day. That was kind of a tricky one. Here we go. Did you know that King Charles is Prince William's father? Which words are capitalized? The father takes the same rule as mother. Talking about that before. And it is not capitalized. It's Prince William's father. We're not using it like a name, but King Charles is capital and Prince William is also capital because they are titles. So the prince and the king belong to the address of the two people. Good. So Roya went up to 4th place. Renata, I think, has 100% so far. Capitalization of titles. This means titles of books or songs. Capitalize the first and last word in a title or a book title. Capitalize nouns, pronouns. So also my, your, his. Verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Not articles, not prepositions. So here's a title for you. My favorite film is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Very good. So everything's capitalized except the in, the a, and the to. And the first and last word are capitalized. Buddy moved up to 2nd place. It's getting suspenseful. He was born on a Sunday morning in winter. Very good. A little bit tricky. So the months are capitalized, but the seasons are not. I don't know why. Spring, summer, winter, autumn are not written big. Tricky one. Roya moves back up to 3rd place, then Donald, then Romelia. Choose the correct sentence. We took a Lufthansa flight from The Hague. We mentioned this in a previous slide. Can you remember the rule? Everyone got it. We took a Lufthansa. Lufthansa is a company name, so it's written big. Flight from The Hague. Looks a bit strange, right? The is capitalized. Very good. Rossi is back in the game with 3 in a row. I don't know who that is. The capital of the US is Washington, D.C. How do you capitalize it? The red one. So what is the difference? Oh, you got to check the first word. The has to be small because it's in the middle of a sentence. I bet that one tricked you guys. Sorry about that. Got to make a couple of them tricky. Got to really inspect them to make sure that the letters are the right size. Which sentence is correct? Good. Okay, let's look at the difference. Tell mom. How am I using the word mom? I'm using it like a name, right? So if I'm talking to someone, anyone, and I say, my mom isn't home right now, that's a common noun because I'm just referring to her relation to me, but I'm not using it as a title or a name. But if I'm talking to my sister and I say, where's mom? It's like saying her name in a way. So in that case, it would have to be capitalized. I know it's tricky, but it's the yellow one, tell mom. It's like saying, tell Elizabeth, right? It's like using a name. I'm home from school. Tell my mom would be small. Mm-hmm. Same with dad. I would love to take a cruise on the River Nile. On the River Nile, very good, the yellow one. So the full name is the River Nile. You're using river as part of the name. You could also say take a cruise on the Nile. Rivers always have the article the Danube, the Amazon, the Thames also. Okay, and then the other one, yeah, it's close, but you got to capitalize river. Also Mount Everest, the Mount is capitalized. It's part of the name. My dog loves sitting in the sun. Right, so in the sun, as in the sunshine, is a common noun, written small. Sun, I was thinking of putting more questions with sun, earth, moon, but people are not really in agreement over whether the planet or the star, the sun, should be written capital or lowercase. So I didn't go there, but if it's used like the sun, the sunshine, then it's always small anyway. Here's one with planets, with other planets. Venus and Mars. Do you think they're names? Good, exactly. Venus and Mars are names, so we write them capital. My grandfather witnessed 2 world wars. Look, there's even a dog. 2 world wars. It's actually yellow. No one got that one. So 2 world wars, we're not using the name. We're not saying World War II, that would be a name. World War I would be a name. Vietnam War, the Gulf War, those are names. But there could later be a 3rd World War, and that's common. Just a war that the whole world participates in. So that would have to be small. Let's see what happens to the scoreboard. Stays the same. No one got that one? We're getting close to the end now. The Second World War, right. It's a name. The Second World War is written in all uppercase, beginning with uppercase. Remember also eras start with capital letters, like the Middle Ages, Dark Ages, the Bronze Age. The Second World War. We usually write it World War II is more common. But that would have been harder to make as a question. Buddy, wow. Choose the correct sentence. Good. So Spain, names of countries are written big, and also adjectives and languages. Capital S, no change to the scoreboard. Everybody is doing great. Choose the correct sentence. My mother is a doctor. Right. Wait a second. Yeah, the blue one. My mother, small, is a doctor. So a profession is written small unless it's part of a title. So if it's Dr. Herman, the name, then you write it big. Otherwise, you use it small. If it's just a job, it's written small. It's easy to get confused with that one. Good work, buddy. The president is going to address the nation at 6 p.m. The president should be small because it's President Biden in the name, but just the president can be written small. The president of Spain. If it's not the official title, then we use the lowercase. Not much change there. Question 24 out of 27. Mr. President will be here shortly. Good. So after Mr., then it's capital. Mr. President or King Charles, if it's part of a name, then it's okay to be big. That one is a little bit confusing, huh? Who is the president of your country? Would be written, president would be written small. My sister just completed her bachelor's degree at university. Very good. So written small, it's not the official name of the degree, it just describes the kind of degree. Bachelor, if you look at the yellow one, bachelor's, if it's written like a name, like a title, then it's big, right? If it's the official name of the degree, then it's big. But if it's the description of it, then it's small. Rossi got up to second place. Romelia in third place. It's getting suspenseful. 26 out of 27. Actually, I received a Master of Science. Then you have in parentheses the abbreviations. Very good. So red is correct. A Master of Science is the name. It's the official name, title of the degree. So it's written big. That one is difficult for me too. I always look that one up. And the very last one, the whole family came down with COVID-19, the coronavirus. Only one of them is correct. COVID-19 is correct because it's short for coronavirus disease 2019. So it's written big. When you write the coronavirus, you could write it out small. Let's go to the podium. See what we got. First, second, third place. Everybody did really well. There aren't too many of you today. Yay, Renata, third place. Romelia, second place. And first place is Buddy. Look, someone played in his honor. He's confused. He hears his name. Okay, Buddy, you can contact me. My email is in the description so we can have our private lesson. Congratulations, you did a great job. I think you probably got over 90% correct. Here, we can also, I always forget to do this. This is a summary of the ones that were tricky. So my grandfather witnessed 2 world wars in general. That one was a bit difficult, should have been written small. And then this one, the president. I tricked you with the picture. Okay, the president in general is small, not Mr. President and not President Biden, but just the president. So only those 2. Now you know them. You're all set. And I got a suggestion for doing subjunctives. And I think that was Renata, right? Asked me for that. We could do that. It's pretty advanced, but I could do it for next week. That's a good suggestion. And if anyone else has a suggestion for me, please let me know. You can email me or let me know in the comments here or anywhere. And I'll make you a live stream based on your topic. Okay, great job, everybody. Thanks for playing and see you next week.